like the assassin J.D. Vance.
We're never running out of water.
Hey, Segovia, back with another one. Hope everyone out there is having a good day, y'all. We got a good one coming up today, like always, y'all. We got a banger today. We got some J.D. Vance, the assassin, San Francisco blackouts, reptilians in Mexico. When does it end, y'all? When does it end? Let's get into it. Before we get into it, make sure you guys watch from start to finish, y'all. It really helps the channel grow. But with that being said, let's do what we all came here for. Let's get into it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you. I love you. You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back. And this is what's so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord, and words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart. I do not judge.
I'm sorry, but in what world is this normal?
Awkward.
I've seen many videos on this, and in not one video is the mistakenly obvious problem addressed. I mean, is this just gonna back right up into the cloud, never to be seen again, until the next thing comes out? We'll look at the meters in 1 second, but if you have not seen it.
you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
In what grammatical context would that suffice? I mean, when you have slip-ups, they're generally close to the word that you want to use. So what does this mean? Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but when she said it, like, her face lit up.
models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when
Look, say what you want, say it's a reach, whatever. That's extraordinarily weird. And you know, with Nicki Minaj, I do like what she's been saying and standing up for the persecution of Christians around the world. Neither am I a gatekeeper to heaven or someone's actions or intent. But completely unrelated, is there something obnoxiously in front of us that we don't know that other people might know?
You killed the guy. Why are you mad about the money? I'm saying the guy got shot 3 months ago, and she walks out to a pyrotechnic display. I mean, let's take a listen here to her. Yeah, I just, and the woman's been through a lot. And I know that, people are going to accuse me of being insensitive, but she feels like she's handling this death better than anyone I've ever seen. And by the way, kudos to her strength. I've never seen a human being bounce back like this. And to go out through a stream of fireworks and sparklers and stand there in a glittering pantsuit, and 3 months after your husband was killed, many people feel that there is something off about that. And we're starting to see that political people are the exact same thing as the Hollywood elites that they all love to dunk on. And we all look at this. This is Megan Thee Stallion twerking at the Kamala rally. This is deeply unsettling to a lot of people. It feels like you're being played. You feel it. It seems off. You feel like this is a coordinated and choreographed spectacle so that you are played. They want your money. That's what they got mad at Candace about. They're like, why are you telling people not to give us money? She's also saying you killed the guy. Why are you mad about the money? They're just mad that they're not getting money. They want your money and they want to be celebrities. You know, and okay, some of them are, but it just feels odd. This is everything they hate, that they don't like, that they're not about. They're not about this stuff. They believe in the sacred family and tradition and blah, 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 blah. And the women are in the house with the kids and what? What part of the traditionalism is the pyrotechnics and the fireworks? And it feels really weird.
You know who Brittany Murphy is? Brittany Murphy was an actress, and she was involved with Ashton Kutcher. Brittany Murphy died of pneumonia. And they said that it's something in, I think, rat poison, that gives you signs of pneumonia. Then her husband died of the same thing. Now, Kim Porter died of pneumonia. Guess who did the autopsy report of all those individuals? Ed Wright. What is he, the Grand Reaper of the stars? Anytime one of the stars died, he come in there and said it was pneumonia, but now he's dead himself. He'll do anything and everything and use his money to change the narrative.
You know, that bodyguard, y'all, was the first, I feel like was the first to really start exposing P. Diddy, y'all. I remember he went on a Queens Flip podcast a long time ago, y'all, and they were all calling him a hater. You just want money. You know, why didn't you say it back then? You know, saying all these things like that. And then fast forward, I'll say maybe 5 to 8 years later, it all comes out. So he's the one I feel like got the ball rolling, y'all. Really good podcast if you guys want to go check it out, because he's not just talking about Diddy. He also talks about, you know, Russell Simmons. He talks about the last night with Notorious B.I.G., how he was saying, you know, he gives you inside look, y'all, on Queens Flip podcast. Highly recommend it. He was the first one, in my opinion, to really start exposing everything.
Yeah, boat crew for the next boat.
This is eerie, y'all. Just a ghost boat.
We got the Coast Guard coming or a towboat?
And that's crazy, huh? Just died out in sea. Abandoned ship. It's crazy.
What in the world?
The ocean is no joke.
This is, I've seen a lot of things in my almost.
This is insane. I want to give you guys an idea of how many pictures and documents were released with the Epstein files last night. All of these are from the Epstein files. They go on for ages. Look at that bar as it goes down. Thousands and thousands of images to go through. You could even search by people. So you could click Jeffrey Epstein, Chris Tucker, Bill Clinton, etc. And let me tell you, some of these pictures that don't actually involve people, this guy, Jeffrey Epstein, was a weirdo. I do want to say this is credit to Reese Sullivan, because he said that the government website where all of these files were released sucks, so he created this link. If you guys want to go on this link and look at all the pictures yourself, I'm going to put it in the bulletin board because I can't put it anywhere in the video. So go on there, it'll be in there.
I feel like whatever California's going through, it has to be spiritual, because ain't no way. California has been getting hit month after month with random weird weather related anomalies, and it's all documented. And then out of nowhere, 130,000 people lose power overnight, and it disrupted the grid so bad that all the Waymo self-driving cars were acting out and they were stuck in the middle of the street, and then they had to call fire department and all these type of people because people were stuck in the elevators, and then the people were screaming because they were stuck in the elevator. But I could imagine, because it's pitch black, right? And then they're still dealing with that fog situation in California. Like, there's so much going on. Look at the Waymo cars. Those things are stuck in the middle of the road because, you know, this affected the power grid as well, and they don't know where to go. They don't know. So this is exactly what you guys wanted, the selfless driving cars, right? And now they're causing a problem. They're the reason why a lot of you guys can't even go to work. And whatever happened must have been really big, y'all, because parts of San Francisco is still experiencing blackouts. Look at this, y'all. The street lights aren't working. The crosswalk path lights aren't working, y'all. Nothing is working. Look at this. So they may be trying to downplay what happened in San Francisco, because why is this happening if there was no storm or anything like that, y'all? Yeah, I feel like there's a lot more to this story than meets the eye. You know how these people like to hide things. There's too much going on in California for this to be normal. But let me know what you guys think about this video.
Too much money in
follow, share for more
California.
videos like this. The shift is here. Let's get it. Peace in.
So until this morning, what time is it now? 10:50. Some areas in San Francisco still has no power. Can see that. No power.
The power outage in San Francisco right now is crazy. Like, driving is taking absolutely forever, as if it doesn't already. The street lights aren't even flashing red, they're just pure black. There were police officers having to control traffic in Golden Gate Park. Waymo's getting stuck in intersections because of how crazy it is. Like, San Francisco, are you okay? What is this power outage?
Power out everywhere. Even on Market Street. Oh, this shit looks sick. Oh, this looks sick. Oh, this looks sick. No cap. This look raw. Damn, a nigga don't even know when to walk around this bitch. Ow! Can we walk? Is it safe to walk? Oh. Now, this some real movie shit. Bro, this some Resident Evil shit right here. Bro, this is Market Street, bro. We is on Market. We is on Market Street, bro. This some real movie shit right here. Like, bro, this like some apocalypse shit. Look how, bro, you can't even see, literally. Oh my God. I hope we gonna get it together, man. They need to be working overtime. Fuck that bridge. So they got their light on right here, though. It's crazy. Oh, look at that shit, bro. Water fountain. Let's see if the Migos outside. There's some crazy shit. There's some crazy medieval shit right here. Y'all see how people just popping up out of nowhere?
En el techo. Parece una rana gigante. Muévete, muévete. No, no se acerquen, se está mirando. Bájate de ahí. Eso no es persona, güey. Ay, Dios mío.
A hunched humanoid figure perched on the edge of a terracotta rooftop. Its skin glistens under the streetlights, scaly and taut like a frog's, but its limbs are too long. It turns its head, just for a second, and the eyes flash, reflective like an animal's. Look at the way it moves, not like a person, not like any animal we know. People in the comments are calling it a reptilian. Others say it's some kind of hybrid. But here's the real question. What is it doing there? Parecía una rana, pero con cara de hombre. It looked like a frog, with a man's face. It wasn't human. It watched us. Now, some say this is CGI. Others swear it's proof that aliens are already here, hidden in plain sight. And if this is real, how many more are out there?
En el techo. Parece una rana gigante. Muévete, muévete. No se acerquen, se está mirando. Bájate de ahí. Eso no es persona, güey. Ay, Dios mío.
We're never running out of water. That's the biggest myth we've ever been sold, because there's unlimited water underneath our feet. And it's interesting. People can just go to Google and type in ocean under the ocean. How is that even possible in the first place? How do we run out of that water? We have an ocean underneath the ocean. 1950s is a perfect example. You have Lake Elsinore, and people are freaking out that Lake Elsinore is going dry. But anyways, a dowser comes out, and he douses the land, and he says, based on my dousing, you should drill right here. There's a water vein that's spiraling, and you can get the water that you need to fill the lake. They douse right there. All you had to do was tap into the water that's underneath us. They plug in, they get the water, they refill Lake Elsinore. The lake has been...
Guys, why the fuck are we filming in Australia? Like, Australia's nice, but why the fuck are we here? And they're like, you can't make a movie in Hollywood. I go, what do you mean you can't make a movie? They go, you can't. I go, where was Hollywood on the list of places we could film? I go, give me the number. And they're like, not even top 10. Wow. Not even top 10.
Wow.
It was Australia. You get 60% off in taxes or something like that. 60. We're talking about, if you're making like a $10 million rom-com, that's one thing. If you're making a $100 million, $200 million film, 60% off in taxes?
Yeah.
So something's happened in LA, and it's fucked up because I look at LA kind of like a college football town, but college football is the film industry. And it's like, if you don't nurture that, I'm not worried about the actors. It's like, there's guys who do the lighting. They do transpo. These are guys who are like, they're like working class guys. They make good money, don't get me wrong. But like, that goes away. The crew that came out to film, like a lot of the crew that came out to film in Australia was from LA.
Yep.
And a lot of them have moved out of LA. They've moved to like San Diego. Like my boy Nick was AD. He's like, yeah, there's just no work in LA right now. So we'll travel for the job. And then I just live the rest of my time in San Diego.
Neuralink filed multiple patents, and they have a patent on telepathy, telekinesis, and blind sight.
So the purpose being they're going to create a chip that is able to harness and allow people to have these abilities?
They're working on the technology to where if you have the Neuralink, you can communicate with someone via just thought. That's in your brain. That's like almost your consciousness, being able to communicate with another consciousness.
And they're manipulating it.
I can't imagine having like something else besides my thoughts in my brain that I can't control.
You know what is super weird about that though? All the Neuralink facilities are posting up next to ICE facilities, and they have a new quota where they're wanting to do thousands of new implants.
They need like volunteers.
But for science, you would need pretty general population.
Average people.
Yeah.
Science has always done really well with human and animals ethically with with volunteers and research.
Yeah.
They've never used anything towards animals or humans.
Yeah, to hurt them? Yeah, never.
No.
They would never do that. Never do that. Like, greed to them is nothing. Like, they don't care about money. They don't care about profits.
They put Neuralink in their brain to get rid of the greed.
Exactly.
The same way they found out nicotine patches cure dementia. Woo!
Next question, Jay. We cooking?
Hey, we cooking right now. So is Atlantis real?
Yeah, Atlantis definitely is.
Damn right, nigga. You know that.
Ancient Egyptian stories tell a tale about people who arrived to the coast, who built their homes on top of salt piles, and they spoke a different language. Where they came from was Atlantis.
Right, and then also, they'd have found everything else but Atlantis. You know, the city of Troy came from the Atlantis story, right? Only reason they found the city of Troy because they was watching the Atlantis story trying to find the Atlantis, right? Listen, everything that they say is true because the order to what? The order to say it what? It got to come to existence because it got to be true. There's no such thing as a lie. Plato wasn't lying, gang.
And so we take them to Camp David, or there's a wing at Bethesda Hospital to just tell you. If you go down there and check, you'll find the nurses, if they're willing to come forth, they'll tell you they work on those people, and they call them the others. I thought it was interesting. They're people. Remember, these people can think and act, but they don't have soul. That's also prophesized. Soulless beings.
True. That's true.
If you go to the hospital today and get an encephalogram, what's that?
Look at this. This is
trying to find my spot to jump in and give my opinion. Y'all haven't seen nothing yet. Feeling a little quiet over here today.
AI is out drinking the entire UK, and I'm not talking about tea. Here's how and why it matters. Every time you chat with AI or stream something online, giant data centers kick into overdrive, and all that heat has to be cooled down. So they use fresh water millions and millions of litres. Researchers estimate that by 2027, AI systems could consume over 6 billion cubic metres of fresh water every single year. That's almost as much as the entire UK, which uses about 8.4 billion cubic metres a year. All that water comes from somewhere. Lakes, rivers, local supplies. Some data centres are even built next to reservoirs, just to keep these machines from melting down. We think of AI as digital and clean, but behind every smart answer is a server drinking from the same sources that we do. As AI gets smarter and has more compute power, its thirst grows too, and most of us never see it. The future of intelligence might depend on who has enough clean water. Personally, I think water as a commodity could be a good investment strategy. What's your take? Is this progress or is this a potential problem? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.
Major cities around the entire world are now canceling their New Year's Eve celebrations, and it all traces back to something that the FBI just stopped in Los Angeles. So this obviously sounds unreal, but just days before New Year's Eve, the FBI has now arrested 4 people in Southern California who were allegedly planning a coordinated bomb attack set to go off right at midnight. Multiple locations, multiple devices, all timed for New Year's Eve. According to the federal prosecutors, this was not a vague threat. They say that the group had explosive materials, they had testing components, and was actively planning attacks whenever they were stopped. The FBI has actually confirmed this publicly, but most people have no idea that this is even happening. After news of the arrest broke, cities around the world started reacting to it. Paris canceled their massive New Year's Eve celebrations, Tokyo has now shut down their famous countdown events, and Belgrade has also canceled all organized festivities for New Year's Eve too, and this is not because of known threats in these cities, it's because of a heightened global security concern. Officials are not saying that these events are directly connected, but they are saying that the risk of huge crowds right now is way too high. Even Times Square in New York City is still happening, but it's going to be under extreme security. An alleged New Year's Eve attack has now been stopped in the US, and now entire countries are rethinking how they bring in the new year.
Sasquatch is not a monkey in the woods. These are people. This is a culture. They have their own language. Yo, Quan, there's something called samurai chatter. You can pull this up on YouTube. This is what me and my homies heard when we was out there. And in between these talks, we heard, help me. When he put up the samurai chatter, we sent the footage to linguistic experts. They said human beings don't have the tools in their body to reproduce this talk. When he put up the samurai chatter, it's going to show you.
This footage is perplexing. A man staying in a hotel was filming the view from his room. However, he captured something that defies any logic or even natural explanation. At the bottom of the sea, a group of people can be clearly seen sitting around what appears to be
crazy.
a table, moving their arms and talking among themselves as if they were in a completely normal meeting. But all of this is underwater. There are no tricks, cuts or effects that suggest manipulation or signs of filters. The figures are there, gathered together, acting as if they are completely unaware that they are in an environment where no one could behave like this. And what's most unsettling is that when the man moves the camera back, it becomes clear that there's nothing on the surface that could project this scene onto the seabed. There are no screens, lights, nor structures to suggest an optical illusion. The image appears directly on the seabed as if it were a window into another reality or a reflection of something that shouldn't be happening there. Are we seeing a glitch in reality, an impossible projection from some unknown point? Or is it a phenomenon we simply don't understand?
I'm sure we must have entered a different dimension, because the one I'm from was getting much better. But here in this cartoon world, it doesn't seem real. The glitches and the Matrix thing, the Mandela effect's real.
Strangest thing I've seen as an ER nurse / EMS provider. There's a long list, but here's one of them, so here goes. I've made a video about this before, and just a disclaimer, this might be disturbing to some people. And as always, we are not making fun of anybody or kink-shaming patients, but there's a safe way to do things, and we advise you not to do this. Woman comes in for pain and redness at her ostomy site. If you don't know what that is, you could Google it. Her boyfriend's looking all concerned as well. So, it turns out they were doing naughty things through the ostomy, and she got an STD of the site. The Urban Dictionary term for this is Philly sidecar. Apparently, this is a thing that happens often in prisons. People are doing naughty things through holes and orifices that were surgically placed on their body, which, again, you shouldn't be doing. And, you know, like Awkward Turtle, the boyfriend is there, so was he the cause of this? Who knows? Anyway, the moral of the story here is you came out of your mama with 3 holes, like, try to just stick to those, you know what I mean?
Are any of you tripped out by the concept of time?
According to quantum physics, time is not real. Time is simply a perception. The reality is that everything is happening everywhere all at once. But because we're moving so slow, because we're not moving higher or at the speed of light, we perceive time to be so slow. And that is why in Interstellar, when the astronauts went to space, they were still the same age they were when they left, when like tens of years had gone past on Earth, because they were operating and going faster or at the speed of light. And so time was so slow for them. Why do our brains only remember the past? And why do our brains not remember the future? If that makes any sense, because everything's happening all at once. So everything that happened already happened, but why don't we remember it? Like, why were we built this way? Like, what? You guys, this is crazy. Let's have a conversation about it in the comments, because I want to talk to people that think like this too.
Dude, this is my cause. When people ask if Hollywood's creepy, I'm like, well, it was built on the back of a 4-year-old toddler named Shirley Temple, who was a sex symbol.
Why, what happened?
What happened to Shirley
Oh,
Temple?
She was like...
She was a
child
4-year-old.
star.
She was a 4-year-old heartthrob.
Yeah, what was she in again?
She basically was an American movie star. In every movie, she's like at war with soldiers, and she's on a boat with a bunch of men putting lollipops in her mouth. She was the Margot Robbie of the
Crazy, yo.
20s.
8 years old. 8-year-old Margot
So, I mean,
Robbie.
4 in some of her
4,
films,
fuck.
which we've made movies, you know. That means she was cast at 2.5, 3.
Yeah.
The fittings were at 3.5, and then
Sacked at 5.
they put her in blackface in half the movies. Like, it's just to the waterline. Full
Yeah.
Justin Trudeau eyelid
Oh my
blackface.
God.
Yeah.
I also remember when you were in elementary school and there'd be these assemblies where the school would get these people who ran like pyramid schemes that sold magazines or sold pies, and they would have assemblies where they'd like recruit the children to then sell this shit to their families. And I remember like at one point, like all of my family members had already bought a pie, and they were like, go door to door. You should just walk down the street like a Girl Scout and just sell pies and sell magazines. And like then you'd bring it back, you'd be like, hi, I sold 300 pies, and they'd be like, great, here's a voucher for like a book, or like here is a bouncy ball made of rubber. Like it would be the stupidest little like prizes that we would get. And meanwhile, like my question is, who is allowing these multi-level marketing schemers to recruit elementary school students? I don't know. Me and my mom always hated it. My dad didn't like pie, so my dad was always pissed about it. He's like, why can't they sell something healthy? I don't know, Dad.
And do you remember that, y'all? Do you remember like those little chocolate bars? Do they still do that? Parents out there, do they still do this? Right? They used to have those little chocolate bars that were the bomb. They had like almonds in them. Good chocolate bars too for $1. You used to sell them for $1. Do they still do that at schools? Like do these fundraisers and all these things? I forgot all about that.
Y'all ain't gonna tell me that something ain't happened to Castanet. His whole energy is off. Like I don't know if somebody done got to him, but something has happened to Castanet. I'm talking about his whole aura is off. I don't know what's going on. His videos, the message, everything is strange now. Something has happened to Castanet, man. Have y'all been seeing the latest videos? The videos he been doing on his laptop. He ain't been doing no streaming. Like make it make sense. Something real sinister is going on. What do y'all think is going on with Castanet? Because something is off. I'm telling you. Something is very off. Somebody must have got in his ear. He must got a phone call from the higher ups to stop doing so much. I don't know. Whatever it is, I can see it and I can feel it. I'm talking about his whole spirit off on the video that I watched. Something has happened. Somebody need to check on him. Yeah.
That's his problem, right? He got a call from the higher ups. He should have never went to the higher ups. Right? Because I'm sure you streaming, having your 2,000-3,000 subscribers, right? Whatever, how many you had, you were happy. It was all you. It was all you. And you got that call from the higher up. Hey, you want LeBron in your stream? You want Kevin Hart? You want these other celebrities in your stream? You know, we'll get you up to 300,000 subscribers. I don't know. I don't watch him, right? I'm a little too old for that, but I don't know how much he's got. But I'm sure there was a point where he was all authentic, happiest man alive. He had his friends with him and, you know, making good money to, you know, generational wealth. And you got that call. And then you had those celebrities in there. And you got to peek behind the blinds. I don't think you like what you saw behind those blinds, but it's too late. You're already signed up. You're already here. Now, if you go away, you're done, right? You're not in our algorithm no more. You're cut off. Once you see what you see, you're in it. There's no getting out, right? And now we're seeing the effects of that. He should have stayed true to himself and just stayed solo. I don't get these people that, you know, these gamers that have all, like, I used to watch Nick Merckx a lot, right? I used to watch him so long back. If anyone that used to watch Nick Merckx, he used to like flex every sub he got, right? That was the beginning. He used to have like 1,000 sub goal by the end of the week, something like that, right? I never understood, like, you're making this good money and then you go sign with a team and then you get all this drama and it's just, I don't understand it, y'all. Like with this, with my thing, like I'll always just stay. I'm okay, right? I'm happy where I'm at. I don't need these celebrities. I don't need to do a reaction with a celebrity. I don't need to work with other content creators, right? I just do a solo because once you start doing that, you start getting a peek behind the blinds and how things really work. And you don't want that.
He'd been stranded out in the ocean for 133 days.
Holy smokes.
He was a 25-year-old Chinese steward
Finally,
on
I
a
got to
British
talk.
merchant ship. The ship was torpedoed during World War II by a German U-boat in the South Atlantic. The explosion was so violent, the ship sank in under 2 minutes. Everyone else drowned or was taken by a German submarine crew. Poon jumped overboard. He swam furiously, and by pure miracle, he found a 9-foot wooden raft. The only thing he had was a few biscuits, some chocolate, a small jug of fresh water, a flashlight, 2 flares, and a knife. That's it. This guy stands alone as the world record for the guy who's ever sailed by himself alone on the ocean.
Holy smokes.
With the tarp that he had, collected rainwater after he ran out of the water that was in this aluminum jug. Over time, he had like sun sickness, peeling his skin. For food, he took nails and bent them into fish hooks.
Fish hooks.
This guy was not a fisherman. He was not an outdoorsman. He used pieces of biscuits as bait.
Wow.
So
Crazy.
risking his food
Humans
to
adapt.
fish. And he caught fish that way, and he would use their guts as better bait. But he would also drink the blood of the fish to hydrate himself.
No way.
It's crazy. And he would use the bones of the fish for fish hooks. At one point, he saw a small shark circling the raft, and Poon managed to hook it, the nail hook, and when he pulled it up, it bit into his arm, and he takes his aluminum water jug and kills it and starts eating it, drinking its blood. A ship had saw him. He's waving a big piece of shark meat, and he was taken, and he became a U.S. citizen, died at 71.
Wow.
And so he drifted 1,000 miles.
We should name our child Poon.
A skinwalker was spotted at night on a street in the United States. What you're about to see on screen will send chills down your spine. First, let me explain what a skinwalker is before we play the video. A skinwalker is a sinister entity capable of transforming into animals, wolves, cats, and more. But sometimes, it can also take on a human appearance, as you'll see in this footage. If you ever see one, you are already considered dead. They can also mimic the appearance and voice of your loved ones to deceive and capture you. Now watch this video until the very end. Tell me, what would you do if you saw this? If you love paranormal content, subscribe to my account. I have plenty more videos like this. And remember, if you ever start doubting one of your loved ones, run. If you don't, consider yourself officially dead. So, before we play the video, subscribe.
July the 6th, 2001. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in this position where I was training Middle Eastern intelligence services in counterterrorism operations. So that day, July the 6th, 2001, I had booked a 30-minute briefing with this junior, like 25-year-old kid on Al-Qaeda. So the time came for the briefing, and instead of this young kid, in comes Kofor Black, the director of counterterrorism, and a woman. So they come in together, and I was so surprised. I stood up and I said, I said, gentlemen, this is Kofor Black, He's the director of the Counterterrorism Center here at the CIA, and this is the chief of operations for the Osama bin Laden unit. And they sat down, and Kofor looks at these guys and just goes right into it. And he says, something terrible is going to happen. We don't know where or when, but we know it'll be on an unprecedented scale. He said, we're picking up chatter from the Al-Qaeda training camps. We're hearing code words for a massive. The honey salesman is coming with vast quantities of honey, where there's going to be an enormous wedding or a great football match is coming. They're all codes for an attack. But we don't know where or when it's going to be. He said, I'm begging you, if you have any sources inside Al-Qaeda, please help us. And they just sat there looking at him.
I believe our Savior was born on September 11th, mainly because of this verse right here. This verse is a stellar alignment, Revelation chapter 12, 1 through 5. And it talks about a woman arrayed with the sun, the moon at her feet, and the stars at her head and all that. This exact alignment happened on September 11th, 3 BC. But what a strategic thing for the enemy to do. Get us all to celebrate Christ the King. By the way, Christ is a generic word. Cyrus, pagan Cyrus king, was a Messiah. It just means anointed one. So when we're singing happy birthday to Christ the King, born this day on December 25th, I'm raising my hand and going, wait, well, who are we talking about here? We're talking about an anointed king, but we're not talking about Yeshua, the Son of God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So who are we singing to on December 25th then?
New top secret footage suggests that dinosaurs still exist. You may have heard of the CIA camp in Peru called Unit 6. And there are a whole host of conspiracy theories that have been made about this camp. Like, people think it's a house for aliens. Now, back in 2017, this man named Diego Lopez decided he was going to solve this place's mysteries no matter what it took. He decided to sneak onto the secret base. He drove to the forest and parked nearby, and he put on a fake CIA vest and badge. And somehow he was able to enter with his camera. Now, rather than discovering aliens, Diego discovered hundreds of dinosaurs. Now, how no one figured out he wasn't supposed to be there, I have no idea. Like, how did this slide? And that's not even the craziest part. Like, some of these dinosaurs that he discovered were over 30 feet tall. He quickly took a video and then ran to his car and drove to his house. As you previously saw, there are some clips of the video that is still online. However, Diego has not been heard from since. Now, the videos that I previously showed you are from a video game. This is a creepypasta. Send this to a...
I thought you guys were joking about the whole Target price debacle, but this $135 Christmas tree in reality is...
$20.
Originally 25 bucks.
That's crazy.
And they're all like that.
That is ridiculous.
That one is. This one is. Like a lot of them. Wait, this one's $150. What's it say? Grand reveal. What's it say? What's it say? $90. That one's not as bad as the other one, but I guess TikTok was not lying.
You know, that's terrible, y'all. Like, I did this at the dollar store, right? They have those little red tags on everything. Thing was like at $8, and you take that little tag off $1.25. Like, it's ridiculous what they're doing to us. But they're gonna keep doing it because people are still buying it. They don't even think twice, right? It's a damn shame what they're doing to us, and they're just blaming 2020 pandemic inflation. They're still using 2020 as an excuse. We're about to be 2026. They're still using, we're closer to 2030 than we are to 2020. And they're still using 2020 as an excuse why people are price gouging and getting away with it and giving us crap product. Things are more expensive, but the quality of things are just terrible.
And this is definitely a desert.
That would be creepy. Imagine going hiking and you see that out there.
Standing next to it, this thing is unreal. Check this out, the oasis of the sands. Apparently, the all-inclusive package didn't cover the ocean view. Imagine booking a cruise and ending up in a desert instead.
Probably AI, but...
Paid extra for the ocean view, got sand instead.
crazy AI is, y'all.
Yeah, good luck steering this thing to the ocean from here.
Guess lunch break just
this is
never
AI.
ended.
This is the AI they show us. This is the AI they allow us to play with. Imagine what they're not showing us, the 20 years from now AI, what it is. Imagine.
Yeah, 5-star luxury right in the middle of nowhere. I think the desert can keep it.
Who's still playing Call of Duty nowadays, y'all? Call of Duty's a joke. I think the last Call of Duty I got was World War II. Infinite Warfare maybe was the last one. I was big into Call of Duty back in the day. Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Advanced Warfare, Modern Warfare 2, 3, classics. Halo 3, Halo Reach. Man, I still got all those games just sitting in my closet collecting dust.
In jail. What happens in jail when they're using water?
Everybody gets smart. Listen, that's what I'm listening. In jail, I was the smartest. My body looked good. And we had a little thing like, damn, we went around drinking shit water. And the water's so hard. But I realize now water's supposed to be thick like the water we had in jail. And listen, and everybody in jail was running around getting smarter. Your skin get to getting better. The fluoride is gone. That's what he said. We drinking toilet water that spins. That's all, mama. So everybody, why do you think everybody in jail gets smarter? They calling you, telling you some shit you don't even think they even supposed to know. And they tap in.
As soon as they get out of jail, they get out and do some dumb shit, and then they get dumb again.
Yeah, they forget like me. That's all I forgot. Listen, when I got out of jail, I turned back GDB Vice Lord Crip Blood.
Wait, hold on.
Listen, it's a trick. Listen, because I thought they were trying to poison my body, right? The whole time they were trying to poison my third eye. Here's my mama. They wanted to fuck with my imagination because they told me that the life in the world was real, and I didn't know that everything was based on imagination. I swear to God, Mom, I didn't know it was based everybody manifesting that shit.
Are you making that shit up?
No, okay.
That's crazy, y'all, because you hear a lot of people that like go to prison or something, like they're like illiterate when they go to prison. They don't know how to read, write. And then they get out of prison and they end up like the Rick Ross thing, right? He went to jail illiterate. He learned how to read. He started reading law books, started reading things that, oh, like this law they accused me of is wrong. Went from a life sentence. He got out. You hear those stories all the time. People get out and they're very religious now, change their life, right? Now we just put it towards they got nothing but time, right? I'm going to learn how to read, write, and speak better or whatever, right? But it's crazy. And I saw a clip. I didn't put it on today's video. I should have. I saw it, but I passed through it. But they were saying that water is supposed to be spinning. Like it was a copper bowl and they had water in there and they were just spinning. And they were saying we're supposed to be drinking spinning water. I wish I would have got it and put it after this clip so it would have made a little more sense, but might have to find it for tomorrow's video. But that's crazy that he was saying water is supposed to be, in constant movement.
American thing I've ever seen. I'm saying that a lot in America. We've got one size of monster, another size of monster, another size of monster. But if that's
I used to drink these big 24 ounces, y'all.
Another size of
I used to drink those like every day when I worked.
Oh my god. Also, how big these Arizona teas are. 2 for $3.
I don't know the last time I had a monster.
I can't even hold this. Also, plus all of the coffee flavor cappuccino, double shot, Monsters, Dunkins. Plus, even just at like a soda station or like a gas station if you're American, you can just fill up with all these like Mountain Dews with all these soft drinks, just in the gas stations. Oh my god, what is that? That's the coffee. That's creamer. Oh my gosh, decaf, turbo, all those different types of coffee. This is crazy. I love it here.
That's crazy. I'm going to have to react to some stuff on my second channel. Like there's so much, y'all. There's so much out there you guys should start reacting to on TikTok. Like right there, American reacts to, let's just say Australia gas station, products, Australia or Chinese gas station products, and American reacts compares. There's so much content out there on TikTok, y'all, that you guys should be reacting to. I'm telling you.
Confederate soldiers standing there.
We have that picture.
Clear as day.
That's
looking
another
directly
video
at
for
us, and we're like,
my second channel.
I just have the ghost box. That's all I got. We turn it on. Don't know what to expect.
TikTok's
but
where
we
it's
start
at,
getting
y'all.
soldiers that are coming through.
Soldiers.
Soldiers. And they wanted to be spoken to as soldiers. They would come up and they would give name and rank and would say, "Are you ready to go home?" And then you would start hearing like their family on the other side crying out to them, telling by name to come home.
What? We could hear all this through the box. Some of them would cross over and you could hear them meet up with their loved ones on the other side. You could hear laughter, you could hear applause.
There's like over 100 soldiers that are still buried in this big unmarked grave. So this is like a huge haunted area we didn't even know about.
Everything is a trade-off. You know, we went from the Model T to damn near flying cars in under 100 years. How is that possible? No one still is explaining how FaceTime even works. It's a lot of things they keep hidden. The problem is declassified docs showed that the CIA ran a program to track humans with hybrid alien DNA in their body. They track these people. These people are part of that private sector of people who control the world, the international bankers. Same thing, bro. It all boils down to this. And whatever entities that they dealing with, you got to make sacrifices and exchanges for them for whatever. Is it technology? Is it power, information? Same thing over and over.
But there seems to have been a ramp up of, in the past like year and a half, of information, disinformation. They're pumping so much stuff that all of it seems plausible at the same time, but it's so much and it's so different from the mainstream narrative that we've always thought of what our existence actually is.
They don't want you to know about supernatural beings because they serve them. If you know about it, then you on the same level as them. These beings don't give a fuck. They don't care. You feel me? They look at us all as the same.
This video calls into question a lot of what geology courses teach today. It was filmed in Brazil. It just broke on Twitter. These guys crack open this, what looks like a rock, although it has a bit of a grain pattern to it, almost like wood. They crack it open. It's not obsidian. They already did an analysis on it. This is absolutely not obsidian. The going theory for this crazy looking thing is petrified tree sap from the ancient giant trees that were all around the earth before they got cut down by the 200 angels that God sent down to cut down before the freaking giants could climb them before the flood. If that lore doesn't get you.
At the UFC fight,
what happened?
During one of the walkouts, somebody in the crowd wearing a mask put their phone in front of the camera, showing one of their victims, and people think that that person is a serial killer.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So this is the fighter that walked out.
Okay.
Right?
This is like not the main card. It's like
it's one of the prelims. Look, so right here, right here, you see that? So his hand goes out and he shows a picture of a body, blood, and somebody that looks like they've been hurt.
Whoa.
Lying down. Guess what they're lying down on?
What?
A detached door. There's a doorknob.
God.
So something weird is happening in that photo, right?
Yeah.
Now it gets really, really weird because he was masked.
Can I see the mask?
He was the only person in the crowd wearing a mask.
Was it a weird mask or like a regular one?
He's wearing a Rey Mysterio mask. But look at him.
Oh, this looks like.
But look at his face. Like he looks crazy just by looking in his eyes. You can tell he's like someone deranged.
So I'm just gonna say it. I don't think we were fed the exact truth behind what happened with the Mustache Man. And it's my opinion that I don't think we were told the truth behind why he did the things he did. And it's also my opinion that I don't think he was doing exactly what they told us he was doing. And if he was, then I think he may have had a better reason than what they're telling us. Now, we know that school is intentional brainwash, and they don't want a nation of thinkers, they want a nation of workers. And we know that our history is mostly a lie, and history is written by the winners. So I believe there was a sob story invented with the intention of making us all feel bad and have pity on the juice boxes. Now, I don't want to say out loud who our true enemy is right now, but you know who they are. And from what we're all gathering as of lately, they've always been our enemy. And then back then, when that was all going on, that happened to be the mustache man's enemy. And by the way, Kanye doesn't look so crazy anymore, does he? So basically, I just think that the mustache man may have just been portrayed as a villain when he may not have been. And think about how much we were taught about this in school. Like, and for what? For what reason would we be taught all of this stuff in school if it wasn't just for a narrative?
I mean, we did do a lot in history class on the German thing, right? That happened in the 40s, right? We did a lot on that, way more than we did on American history. If you think about it, we learned a lot more about that German incident.
We got to make one thing clear. People don't just walk away from a position of power unless it's something very, very wrong. So listen to this. Dan Bongino is leaving the FBI in January, and they want everybody just to think this is just business as usual. Really, bruh? Come on now. You don't get this close to the system and understand and know what's going on behind them closed doors and just decide one day, yeah, I'm done. So I gotta ask the question, what made this man leave? What really made this man want to step away? Was it pressure? Was it a disagreement about something they didn't want to go public? Was it that he realized he can't fix a system that don't want to be fixed? Or did he see something that made him be like, nah, I'm not with this shit? Y'all gotta understand, when you stop playing along with stuff, you become the problem. When everybody else is in and you're not, you're the problem. And when you are the problem, the system gives you two options: to either opt in or opt out. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. And do y'all think this man's just stepping away because he's done with it, or y'all think it's something deeper? All you gotta do is go look at his little fellow partner, Cash Patel. His face has been telling a lot without saying it.
Yeah, for real.
Oh my god. Nick, yell if you need help. I'll call someone for you.
This video
I ain't going in
documents
there.
something terrifyingly real.
I'll call someone
At
for you.
night, a cornfield
took the
may
wrong
exist
partner
as a
out there.
completely different space. This happened in the United States. A man named Nick and a woman drove to a remote cornfield late at night for a task. When they arrived, the woman stayed in the car. Nick walked into the cornfield alone. At first, everything felt normal. She could hear him moving, corn stalks shifting, footsteps going deeper inside, and then everything went silent. She started calling his name again and again. No response. She waited over 10 minutes, then got out to search. She looked everywhere nearby. Nick's nephew joined the search that same night. No one found him. Nick had completely vanished inside that cornfield until the next night when the woman returned. And this time, Nick walked out of the cornfield by himself. But what happened after he got into the car was far worse. Part 2 is where it stops making sense.
Have you heard of Bondo apes?
Sorry, y'all.
No. I heard about it from a Joe Rogan podcast. It's these group of apes that live in the Congo, but they're abnormally huge chimpanzees. The rumor is when they walk up on their two legs instead of like how a monkey usually walks. 6 feet tall. And their nickname is the Lion Killers because they supposedly kill lions and eat them.
Dude, they are scary.
They're confused by them because their heads aren't fully shaped like a chimpanzee's.
Okay. Yeah,
but they
they're
have
kinda-
features of gorillas. They're almost saying it's like a mixed race
Hybrid.
between chimpanzees and gorillas.
Oh, that's scary.
It's
That's
like
so
Caesar from
scary.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No! Oh, dude. No!
But could you imagine walking through the woods and there's a 6-foot ape just standing there on its hind legs just looking at you? What would you do?
Dude,
My heart would stop.
I would immediately
start dancing.
I would dance until.
Well, why do so many scientists who discover or work on clean energy suddenly find themselves killed? Well, this is a strange story. Nunu Laero, he was until yesterday MIT's leading nuclear fusion scientist. His plasma research led to incredible clean energy breakthroughs, clean tech, no fossil fuels. He was murdered at his home on Monday. Here is the news report. Shot dead at 47 years old. Nunu Laero. Am I saying that right? The Portuguese? I know. I was practicing it all morning. Laero. Yeah, and I lived in Portugal for 5 years, and you'd think I'd be able to nail it. Anyway, he's from Lisbon originally. One could argue, like Tesla before his ultimate untimely death, that Nunu's plasma physics research could have changed the world. You could argue that. Sources have confirmed, to redacted, that he had made a few energy giants very nervous. It turns out that he's not the first MIT fusion scientist to suddenly be murdered in his home. In 1989, Eugene Malov exposed a cold fusion cover-up by the Department of Energy and MIT itself. There he is. He even wrote a book about it called Fire from Ice, searching for the truth behind the cold fusion furor. Before he was murdered, he talked about how threatening this research was to the powers that be.
What we really had was a threat to the scientific establishment. The threat of it even being implied as real and having monies, shall we say, being diverted from their favored programs, and that was a threat. It was real. Overwhelmingly compelling, as I said, in Fire from Ice. It was real. Now it's 100% certain.
Interesting. Overwhelmingly real. Meanwhile, so coincidence? What did Nunu know? Andrew Goff is a former History Channel host, researcher, investigator. He's also the host of Conspiracy Hour on Unified TV, and he joins me now. Andrew, great to see you. Thank you for doing this.
It's great to be on the show. Thank you.
So
this
what
is
was
a very disturbing story, is it not?
It is. And when you think about the laundry list of individuals, I was speaking to a source today, said it's very, very sad because, look, there's a long list of individuals who've gotten very close to the sun, so to speak, where we might have free energy, and suddenly these people are murdered, or they disappear, or they're locked up and thrown in jail. What do you make of this?
Yeah, it's just the latest in a long line of similar incidents, right? So anybody who has a cure for a disease, it could be cancer, it could be almost anything. It could be the individuals who find out how to power automobiles with water, not gasoline or petrol.
The raft of
how crazy is that, yo? I mean, we see it. It happens. But that's the stranglehold they have on us. Guy might be able to cure cancer. Magically arrested, magically offed. He offed himself. He's about to do the biggest thing for mankind ever, but he magically offed himself. And we keep getting charged an arm and a leg.
Starvation starts taking people out. Waves are rushing and pulling people off the boat. And within days, they start to literally...
What would happen if you gave society everything? Infinite food, no predators, total safety. Well, in 1968, we found out, and it was terrifying. Scientist John Calhoun built Universe 25. It was a mouse paradise. Unlimited water, food, nesting boxes. I mean, really, what else could a mouse ask for? It was designed to hold thousands of mice in luxury. At first, the population exploded. But as soon as Universe 25 started getting crowded, the mice went insane. A group of males completely stopped fighting and mating. They just ate, slept, and groomed their fur, which honestly doesn't sound so bad. Calhoun called them the beautiful ones. They were completely perfect, but socially unalive. Meanwhile, mothers started abandoning and also eating their babies. The society collapsed into violence and apathy. Even when the population dropped back down and there was plenty of space again, these survivors forgot how to even be mice, and they refused to mate again. The entire population went extinct, but not from starvation, but from total lack of social purpose.
I think there's going to be like a robot AI to rule the world from Jerusalem, an image of a man.
I agree with you on this.
Satan has always wanted to be like God.
All places, all at once.
And he wants to know what you're thinking.
Oh my God, bro. I thought about this.
Didn't God know what everybody was thinking in the time of Noah?
Yeah.
He saw the thoughts of the imaginations of the heart. Satan wants to know what you're thinking. That's what this little microchip's going to be about. And it goes in the forehead or in the hand. There's going to be a neural link, I suspect, where everybody is connected to a computer. They know what you're thinking. Satan wants to be like God. He told Eve, you could be like God. He said in Ezekiel 28 and Isaiah 14, I shall ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. That's his goal.
I mean, we would all say, I would never put that Neuralink in me. I would never put that chip in me. But they're not worried about us. They're not worried about our generation, the older generation. They know we're not. They know we're not going to stand for this. But think about your grandkids. Think about my grandkids. My son he's going to be a year old next month. So think about his grandkids, right? Another, 60 years from now, they're going to be the ones. That's going to be normal for them. Just like these phones are normal for, 15-year-olds right now. This is everywhere. This is on their hip 24/7. It's on our hip 24/7. So it's the normal thing now. Now think about our grandkids. The normal thing is going to be a chip right out the womb. Chip, boom, right out the womb. Probably get to a point where they put it in the womb. They put the chip in there. At a certain point, right? If God don't come and say, you know what, I'm wiping this out. We're flooding everything. We're done. You guys are doing too much. Flooding, we're done, right? Unless that happens. But think about 60 years from now. Everyone's going to have that chip in them. Everyone.
That is being issued to literally anybody on the planet that owns an iPhone, and you need to make sure that you watch this. So there's a serious Apple security flaw that's going viral after police and security experts have now started to warn people to change one specific setting immediately. Don't worry, I'm obviously going to tell you which setting to change. This doesn't just affect iPhones, by the way, it actually affects Macs, Apple TVs, CarPlay systems, and basically anything else that uses AirPlay. What's crazy about your phone getting hacked with AirPlay right now is that the hackers don't even need your phone. They don't need you to click anything at all. If they're on the same Wi-Fi network as you, which could obviously be in public at hotels, apartments, airports, and coffee shops, they can scan your Apple devices with AirPlay left open and visible. Security researchers are saying that this exploit lets attackers access devices in seconds using Apple's own AirPlay system. You will not get a notification and you will not see a pop-up. You literally will not know what's happening. AirPlay is just automatically turned on by default for a lot of people, and most people never even touch the settings, so that's why this is so dangerous and why a lot of people are getting this right now. All you need to do to change this is to make sure your device is fully updated and then go to Settings, General, AirPlay, and Continuity, and then set automatically AirPlay to never.
And we're starting a new war with Venezuela. Why? Because they won't accept centralized banking? Is that it? You really think it's just because they're shipping drugs over here? I mean, the U.S. government, the federal government is the largest cocaine trafficker and human trafficker in the world, and that's been proven by John McAfee before he was killed. So what? So what? Like where do we go from here?
For every 6 pounds of fat a person was losing on these drugs, they were losing 4 pounds of fat-free mass or lean mass. So 40% of the weight they were losing is coming from lean mass, like including muscle and bone. The only thing we hear about is social media influencers extolling the benefits. And hey, I'm on this weight loss drug and I've lost 50 pounds. Someone has to be the voice that says, yeah, but what about this? And there are some significant but what abouts when it comes to these weight loss drugs. One of them is the loss of muscle mass or lean mass. You've mentioned a couple papers from the New England Journal of Medicine, a paper a couple years ago from what was called the Step 5 trials looking at these drugs.
Do you want to go?
How dark do you want to go?
Well, I mean, like, there's some occultism shit. I mean, it's up to you.
a lot of shit.
And it's up to you to decide what you want to share. So I think that people come out of it, I applaud them because, I could almost cry. Like, I worked with Amanda when she was 16 years old. And I'm sorry.
I love me some Amanda.
She's so sweet.
She's super sweet.
She's
I'm talking to her
so
now.
sweet.
I talk to her every now and then now because I want to go like
contact
this.
her.
I want to go like this. Come here. Come here into my black southern arms and give me a hug, mama, because you need a hug. She's going through it, you guys. She's going through it.
I don't know what happened to her. And I just remember how sweet she was and all of the different, I don't even know what was going to happen to me. Like, she was the epitome of sun. And I don't know what she's going through. And the business does that. And I know, but there's other people, like, you're so shiny and it's beautiful. And then there's like my buddy Corey. Corey's been in it since he's 3. He's seen
the world that we are in.
And he's doing good.
Yeah.
Their way of tagging locked grid zones. You think it's for maintenance? Nah. This is how they ID which sites are actively channeling currents. So we call leading straight into this sealed node. They guard it with yellow poles, not traffic safety. These are anchor posts. It's the modern version of standing stones. They ground the frequency and stop flow bleed. That's why they're perfectly spaced. geometric stasis pattern.
All right, family. There you have today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You know what to do if you made it this far. Like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the love you guys have showed. We're starting to grow over here. We're starting to grow. 2026, the goal is 100,000 subscribers, y'all. That's the goal. Never would have thought I'd be saying that, right? I remember I used to say, let's get to that goal is 1,000. Goal is 10,000. Now the goal is 100, y'all. What a trip. If we ever get to 100,000, we're going to do something crazy. Some crazy type of giveaway for you guys. Because that is a milestone that I would have never thought I'd hit. But that's the goal for 2026. But anyways, I hope everyone out there, I'm feeling better. A lot of mucus, not in my nose. It's like in the back of my throat. A lot of mucus. The baby... He's not running fever or nothing, but he is, kind of like me, mucus in the throat. We were coughing all night, both of us yesterday. So, we're putting up with that. But, I think it's a nice 75-degree day outside. So I think we're going to get him outside, get him some fresh air because he's been locked up in this house for like a week now. So that's the plan, y'all. But I hope everyone out there has a good day. We're getting close, y'all. Getting close to Christmas, getting close to New Year's, We're getting close, y'all. So I'm going to see you guys on the next one. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the Man Cave. Y'all have a good one. Later.